we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's gonna work very well. Let's see. All right, I don't know if I can figure out a way how to record this and this at the same time. Give me just a second, guys. Let me, because I'm supposed to try to record this, but I'm having to record it with my, give me just a second. I'm not sure recording this is going to be an option. Give me 1 second. Let me see what I can set up. All right. Because I'm going to try to record it with my iPad separately and see what happens. And that just might have to be what we get here. Okay. There we go. All right, I think I got the recording happening. Okay, so you are being recorded as at this moment right here. So just remember, anything you say will go down in history forever because I'm going to put it on YouTube. Okay, so Cart Boy in the Time Capsule by L.A. Campbell is a book that we're not reading today, but you have the option of reading later on. And that's kind of what today's lesson is based on. All right, so this is Hal, a.k.a. Cart Boy. Has anyone ever heard of Hal and Cart Boy? No? Awesome. Okay, well, here we go. Let's see if it will let me show this video. Redirecting me. All right.
Hi, my name is Hal. Right now, I'm making a journal for history class. It's a homework assignment.
Can y'all hear it?
At the beginning of the year.
Nope, I can't.
All right.
Someone who lives way in the future, all about life.
Me neither.
Here's the first
You can't hear it?
time capsule should probably know.
Let me see if it lets me turn the volume up. Hold on.
I figure I should give the future person a heads up on other
What about now?
like what kind of pet to get.
Still no.
Buying a book, you have the right kind of dog. Mr.
Who can hear it?
Teacher, he said
Me.
timeline.
Interesting.
He thinks they're a good way of explaining important things that have happened over
All
I
right.
can read it though.
turns out.
You can what? You can read it?
Read it.
All right, so this is Hal, aka Cart Boy, and he is thinking about making he got an assignment from a teacher to make a time capsule. So he was trying to figure out what some of the things are that he could put in a time capsule. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video since there's not very many people that can hear it. All right, let's see. All right, let's go back to here. All right. So, one of the things that his teacher suggested that he included is paper about what life is like today. Okay, so what do you think if you were going to write a little paragraph about what life is like today? What kinds of things would you put in your paragraph? You guys go ahead and just, since I'm presenting, I can't see like you, so go ahead and just say it out. What would you put on your paper? What is
that right now is very crazy.
Okay. How would you describe what crazy is, Noah?
Like a ton of bad stuff is happening all at the same time.
Okay. All right. And you would write about some of those things and how you feel about it?
Yeah.
Yep. Because as of right now, we can't see into the future and we don't know how all of this is going to turn out. So it might be interesting for someone later on to read about how we felt in the midst of all this. Okay. What else might you include? Anybody else? Samia, what do you think maybe you would put on yours?
Maybe I want to get outside of home.
Okay. All right. You could also put things like what a typical day is like for someone that is your age. You know, right now you guys are in your summer break and you could kind of just make a daily log of what you do during the day. That might be interesting. All right, so time capsule. Time capsule. What is a time capsule? Let me try this video and see if you can hear it. And then if not, okay, I can barely hear this one, so that's not going to go very well, is it? Nope. All right, so this is a video of a time capsule that was created in New York, and it was specifically created by the city to open, I think it was 50 years later. So they're opening this time capsule to see some of the things that were put in it. I think it was 50 years, but it may have been more. And they're opening it very carefully. So this is kind of because the city did it, it made the news. Here's like a newspaper from when they put it in and what was happening in New York at the time. Some sort of ledger book, some pictures. Oh, that says 1914. So it was definitely more than 50 years ago. Look how different photographs looked back then. There's a telegram, which is how people communicated far away back in that time. 1914. Isn't that when the Titanic sank? I think 1914 is when the Titanic sank. All right. So that's very interesting. Oh, don't want to do that. All right, done. Here we go. All right. So this is interesting. So here is a time capsule that was in Boston. In 2014, they had a chance, they heard a rumor about a time capsule that was hidden up in that lion's head, okay, at the top of this building. When he took down the statue, he discovered a box with newspaper clippings and photographs inside, along with a Roosevelt McKinley button. So Roosevelt McKinley was who ran for president and vice president back at that time. A piece from the original wood line was also in there. This is very interesting. This is an apartment in Paris that was discovered in 2010. Now, this time capsule is a very interesting circumstance because it's definitely bigger than most time capsules that you would find. This is an entire apartment that was a time capsule. So in 1942, there was an actress, and she fled Nazi Germany in Paris, and she left behind her entire apartment. So basically, she just took the things with her that she could take with her when she fled at the time, because the Nazis were moving into Paris at that time. But for 70 years, she kept paying for the apartment. So it remained exactly as it was when she left it, because it kept being paid for. Nobody rented out the apartment, and it stayed just like that. So when she died at the age of 91, her family, her descendants, were able to discover that it was untouched and filled with treasures of what life was like back in that time period, back in 1942, including a painting, it says, that sold for over $2.2 million. And then there was also this stuffed ostrich, which I think is very strange, but evidently that was her decor at the time, was a stuffed ostrich. All right, here's another one. This is a time capsule that's a message in a bottle. So at age 14, so think about that, 14 years old, that's not much older than you are. A man in Scotland put a note inside of a bottle and he threw it out into the sea. 40 years later, a couple who was looking for treasures on a beach stumbled upon it, and they found the man who had tossed that bottle into the ocean. His name was Raymond Davidson, and he was in his 50s when they finally found it. It says that he didn't even remember tossing the bottle into the water when he was 14 years old. But This little piece of recent history made the day for those tourists, and it brought complete strangers together. So that is what a time capsule is all about, to make you think about people in different time, in different places than where we live today. So there's another story that I would love to show you. Let's see if I can. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I'll just tell you about it. There's a story about a school. And in the school, they were moving the lockers and they found a purse. This purse had fallen in between the lockers and the wall. And they opened the purse, and it was from the 1950s. And the school had even changed names since then. It used to be Hoover High School. And inside of this purse, they found a girl who had pictures of her friends. She had a ticket stub to a football game for her school. She had a schedule of the football game for her school. She had some money, like some coins. I think they said 26 cents. She had lipstick and all types of things like that. So that was really, really cool. They tried to go find the girl, but she had passed away just a few years earlier. But they were able to find her family and give her some of those items that they found in the purse. So really, really interesting. All right, so what were some of the things that you noticed that were included in some of the time capsules? Anything that kind of stuck out to you that you thought was interesting? You guys can just go ahead and answer.
How in the apartment one, she kept on paying for the apartment just to keep the time capsule.
That was interesting. You know, I'm not so sure I don't know. I would love to talk to her and find out why she kept paying on that apartment. Because that's a really long time. It says that she didn't pass away until she was 91 years old. So she continued to pay for that. And I just find that was very interesting. What about some of the things that were found in the time capsules? What were some of those things that you found interesting?
That $2 million painting.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. One of the things that you always want to make sure that you would include in a time capsule is basically like who you are. Because if someone were to ever find a time capsule that you were going to leave, they would probably want to know who left it there. All right. Why do you think it would be important to include either newspaper articles or magazines or letters?
What?
Why would it be important to include either photographs or newspaper articles or magazines or letters? Why do you think that would be important? Do you think it would be important to put photographs in a time capsule?
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you want to find, if you were going to find a time capsule, why would you want to see a photograph?
To see what they're talking about?
Yeah, or maybe even to see pictures of the person who left it, right? If you were going to put in a newspaper article, that would give the person kind of an idea of what's happening at that time period. You could even write a letter to whoever it is who finds your time capsule and opens it. I mean, because you can make a time capsule that you want to dig up in 10 or 20 or 50 years, but you could also create a time capsule that you might want someone else to find. All right, so here's what I'd like you to do. It says you have until the end of the song to locate an item that could be used as a time capsule. Anything that closes or zips or can be sealed up tightly, okay? So why don't we go in your house and see what you can find. This is the Mission Impossible music. All right, see what you can go find. What could you use as a time capsule? All right, I feel like that's good enough time. All right, so really quickly, I'm gonna take it off present for just a second. So I can see what you guys have. Let's see. Stop presenting. Okay. There we go. All right, I want to see what some of your items are. Oh, so I'm trying to videotape it. This is technology at its best. I am literally doing the class on my phone, and I'm supposed to tape it, so I'm trying to tape it with my iPad, and it's just a big hot mess. It's just a big hot mess. Okay, so I would just kind of want to know, what are some of the things that you found that you think that you could use?
Wait, we were only supposed to think one thing?
Just, it doesn't matter. Just something that you could use as a time capsule to put stuff in.
A zipper bag?
All right, so you got a Ziploc bag. Okay, that's a good idea, Noah. Actually, that's one of the things that I got too, Ziploc bag. All right, Samia, what about you, baby? An envelope, okay. Now, think for just a second. That's a great idea, but if you buried that envelope, is the stuff that you put in it going to be very safe?
Nope.
Maybe not, but that's a great start. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, good job, good job. And then, Colin, why don't you type and tell us what you found? What did you get, Colin, for your time capsule? What would you put something in? I'm not so sure the video of this is gonna do very well. It's just gonna have to do. All right, Colin says a box. Good job. One of the things that I got was a container, okay? And this container is super tight, but I thought to myself, I would want to make sure that nothing got in this. Because if I were going to bury this and I wanted somebody to find it in 50 years, I want to make sure that whatever it is I put in it is very, very safe. So I might actually put my items in the Ziploc bag and then zip it up really, really good, and then put it inside of my container. That way I feel like it would be like super, super tight and sealed, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it getting really, really, really messed up. So, because what would make me really, really sad is if I spent some time putting together a time capsule and then I found out that later on when somebody found it, all the stuff in it was ruined because water got in it or dirt got in it or something like that. So, all right, really quickly, let's see. I'm going to turn myself this way because I can just see it better. And there you go. All right, so you got half of my face and then most of my iPad, but that's just going to be the way it is. It's just kind of one of those crazy days. All right, so one of the things that I would like to do now is talk about what are some of the things that you could put in your time capsule, okay? So if you were going to put some items in your time capsule, what's one thing you would definitely think someone would be interested to find a long time from now?
iPhone 11.
Oh, an iPhone? Yeah. Think about this. iPhone, not just iPhones, just cell phones in general have changed so much. So I didn't get my first cell phone until I was, you want to guess how old I was when I got my first cell phone?
18.
Nope, didn't have cell phones then. That's how old I am. I was 27 years
Wait,
old.
really?
Really, I was 27 years old when I got my first cell phone because we just didn't, I mean, people did have them. I had a friend that had one like way before that, but we didn't use them. And actually, the only reason I got a cell phone is because I was 8 months pregnant, and my husband wanted me to be able to call him in case I went into labor. So I was 27 years old when I got my first cell phone, and it was a flip phone. It flipped up and down. Okay, so think about just from 27 to how old I am now, which is like almost 20 years later, how much phones have changed. So if you were to put maybe a phone that was broken or a phone that you didn't use anymore inside of a time capsule, and someone were to open it 50 years from now, they may even look at a cell phone and think, what is this thing? Can you imagine looking at a cell phone 50 years from now and people thinking, what is this thing? That's a really great idea. So any kind of technology would be really interesting to put in there. What else would be interesting to put in?
Nail polish.
Nail polish. Okay, that's definitely something you could put in. It might be dried up by then, but you could definitely put in nail polish. Anything else?
A letter.
Ah, I think that's really important. Some type of letter to let the person know who you are and maybe what your life is like. Now, you could dig up your own time capsule 10 years from now, or 20 or 30 or 50 or 70 years from now if you wanted to. Or you could create a time capsule that you want someone else to find. But a letter from you talking about what your life is like would be really interesting. I think about that apartment, and I think about the purse, and if those people had had a letter about what their life was like, how interesting it would be to find out about that person. Okay? Anything else?
Headphones.
A what?
Headphones.
Headphones. Yeah, that could be something that you could put in. Okay? All right, so here's what I would like to do. I would like for you to try to go find just three random items that you could put in a time capsule that maybe if someone were to find your time capsule 50 years from now, they might think, wow, this is cool, or whoa, what is this, or what was this used for? See if you can go find 3 items, okay? All right, ready, set, go. All right, I'm back.
Me too.
Who else is back? Say your name if you're back.
Simeon.
Samia's back. All right. Noah, are you back yet?
I'm back.
You're back. All right. Colin, are you back? You type and tell us that you're back. All right, Colin, you start typing in some of the things that you found, sweetie. And let's start with Samia. Samia, show us the stuff that you grabbed.
Okay. Vaseline.
Vaseline, okay. What else?
Thing.
What is
I
that?
don't know the name.
What is that? Oh,
It's
it's
like
a stylus?
Yeah.
I grabbed a stylus too. Great minds think alike. And what else?
A scrunchie.
I grabbed a scrunchie too, Samia. That's funny. Good job. Really good job. Now, one of the things that you think about too, if you do write a letter, you may want to include what these things are used for, because you never know. I mean, 50 years from now, they may not have any idea what this is, okay? They're going to obviously see that it's not a pen, but they might not know what that is. And same thing with the scrunchie. I grabbed a scrunchie too. So you may want to write down in your time capsule what each item is. All right? Noah, what about you, baby? What did you find?
I found a Nintendo Pro controller,
Oh.
a Lowe's gift card, and a moon ball.
Okay, so something with technology, because it was a game controller. A Lowe's gift card. That's funny. I grabbed a Sonic gift card. Because 50 years ago they didn't have gift cards. And who knows what they'll have 50 years from now. Okay? And then what was the last thing you said?
A ball, like a moon ball.
Oh, like a moon ball. Okay, kind of like a toy thing. Awesome. All right, and then Colin, let me read what he said. He grabbed a card, a clock, and a heart. Ooh, a clock might be interesting. I hadn't thought about a clock. All right. Good job, Colin. Good job. Some of the other things that I grabbed that I thought would be interesting was, what is this?
USB.
Yeah, USB. So this is what we use to keep, pictures and information and documents on. But it's definitely not something that we used a while back. In fact, what's kind of crazy is when these first came out, they were crazy expensive. Like right now you can get this has got 8 gigs on it or something like that. But when they first came out, they didn't even have USBs with gigabytes, okay, flash drives. They were in megabytes and they were crazy expensive, like $60 when they first came out. And now you can get these super cheap. And when I was your age, we had computers, we kept information on a floppy disk. And gosh, you can't even they don't even use floppy disks anymore. So that's something that would be interesting. Something else that I grabbed was a calculator. Nobody uses a calculator anymore because everybody just uses the calculator on their phones, right? I grabbed a mechanical pencil. Thought that might be interesting. I did grab an old cell phone that I have. What is this?
Tea thing?
Yeah, I actually have coffee in this one, but I was thinking to myself, I use a Keurig machine and I can make my coffee with this right here. And then I thought of something else that you might kind of think is weird, but sticky notes. I don't know. They might find that interesting, huh? They just might find that interesting. All right, so one of the things that you can also do is include some pictures. Now, what would be interesting is if you included your pictures on your USB, then you could put a lot of pictures on there and you wouldn't actually have to print the pictures. You could go to Google Images and you could find all kinds of pictures of just basically everyday life kind of things. And you could put it on the USB, and then hopefully whenever they find this, they have a device where they could get the information off of it. Okay. All right. So now that that's kind of sparked your imagination, do me a favor and go find 3 more things that if somebody found the time capsule in 50 years, go find 3 things that they might not have a clue what that is. Okay, see if you can find 3 things that may be outdated and not around in 50 years. Okay, ready, set, go. All right, Miss Tony's back. Who else is back?
Me. Samia.
Mia. Noah, are you back? Not yet?
Yeah.
You are back? All right. Colin, are you back, buddy? All right, Colin, why don't you start typing in the 3 things that you found? Colin, start typing in the 3 things that you found, and then we'll let everyone else start sharing. All right, let's have Noah. You go first, buddy. What are 3 things that you found that people might not know what they are in 50 years? Go.
A little glass egg I got.
Oh, a glass egg. What's inside the glass egg?
Really nothing. It's just full, thick glass.
Oh, interesting. Is it just like a paperweight?
No, it's kind of was just like meant for decoration.
Decoration. Okay. All right. What else?
A little Beyblade spinner.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good job. What else?
And like a LED light up.
An LED light up. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Because even light bulbs have changed a lot in the last 50 years. All right. Samia, what about you, baby?
I brought a harmonica.
A harmonica. Good job. Okay. What else?
And then I brought metal chopsticks
Metal chopsticks. Okay.
and old nail polish.
Nail polish. Nail polish. All right. Let's see. Colin, did you type in? Colin grabbed a headphone splitzer, a zipper bag, and a calculator. That's good thinking, Colin. Really good thinking. All right. All right. I went and grabbed what is this?
A mouse.
My mouse. I grabbed my mouse, right? Now remember, these actually used to have cords on them, but I grabbed my mouse. I grabbed, what's this?
A brush, makeup brush.
Yes, it's my blush brush. Who knows? Maybe in 50 years, women will just put their faces on a computer and the computer will go blah, 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 and just do their makeup for them. Won't that be great? That'd be great. And if that happened, then you wouldn't need these anymore. All right. What's that?
Roku remote.
remote control. Okay, remote control. So many things now these days are voice activated. You know, my husband did a bunch of work in the backyard when we were during the quarantine time. And we have a bunch of lights that we put up back in our garden and on our back porch. We have like this hammock area. We have like a waterfall, and he has like a spotlight on the waterfall. He has all those lights hooked up to Alexa, and all he has to do is tell her to turn those lights on, and they're voice activated just like that. So, you know, maybe, and I know right now, Alexa can go onto Roku and she can find different television shows for you already. So a lot of your TV, a lot of people already have voice activated TVs. So there's a good possibility that not too far in the near future that we don't have remote controls. We basically just tell our TV what to turn on and to turn the volume down or off or mute or whatever, who knows. And then I just grabbed, this is just a package, Betty Crocker muffin mix. And I don't know, I just think that that would be kind of interesting to have in there. All right, so here's the thing. I would love to know, does anyone plan on trying to put together an actual time capsule? Do you think that's something that you would do, Samia?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? Now, would it be a time capsule that you want to open in 10 or 15 or 50 years, or would it be a time capsule that you would want somebody else to find?
Someone else.
You want someone else to find it? Okay. So remember that if you're going to do that, make sure to give really good details about who you are, how old you are, what your life is like. Even if you're going to do it for yourself, you definitely want to do those things. Okay? All right, what about you, Noah? Do you think this is something that you might do? Put together a time capsule?
No.
You don't think so? You know what? It might be something to do, interesting to do as a family. I think about if you have a family right now that has young kids in elementary school, it might be interesting for your family to put together a time capsule. And maybe each person in the family could put something in that's about them. And then in 20 years as a family, you could go find the time capsule and open it up. Where would be some good places that you could bury time capsules or put time capsules? Any ideas?
Backyard.
Yeah, in your backyard.
Underground.
Under the ground. Okay. You could possibly go to a park, right? And you could go put it in a park. Under a picnic table. Any of those things would definitely work. Definitely work. All right. Let me check something really quickly. I think I'm done. You know what? It worked a lot better with this one. Hi, Pamela. I don't think I saw you come on. Did I say hi to you, Pamela? I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't have my screen on the part where I could see every person. So I'm sorry that when you came on, I didn't say hi to you. That's not normally. Oh, my dog's gonna start barking. Anyways, hi, Pamela. I'm glad you joined us. Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna go ahead and be done for today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I know it was kind of strange because my internet was down, but we just kind of did the best we can. Does anybody have any questions about anything from today, or anything that you would like to add, or anything you would like to say?
No.
Pamela, do you think that you would do a time capsule? You think so? I would love to see it. If you guys actually wind up doing a time capsule, I would love to see the time capsule that you do. And I would love to see the kinds of things that you put in it. One of the things I did want to show you is I wanted to show you how my Starburst thing turned out. Remember I said I was going to do like red, white, and blue? So that's how that turned out. So, all right, well, on Thursday, it's going to be our last day on Thursday. We're going to be doing Star Wars. Anyone a big Star Wars fan? Ah.
My dad is.
Your dad is? Maybe your dad can join us for the lesson then. All right, you guys, it was so good to see you, and I hope we're going to see you on Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you later.